Greetings, gentle viewers. I'm George from Ireland. Here I am in York. So this is one of the most ancient cities in the British Isles, and for a long time it was the main city of northern England, and it's still the county town of Yorkshire. Indeed, it lends its name to the county of York, the largest county in England, God's own county people call it. So the Yorkshire people are exceedingly proud of their county, often like to think they have a distinctive personality to their county. So we're on the walls of York, and when William the Conqueror came here, he pretty soon said they needed to build castles as Clifford's Tower, one of the best extant examples of a motte and bailey castle. There was another one on the edge of the walls over there. You can't see it from here, about a mile around the wall, because we know 1066 and all that. William, the Duke of Normandy, became King of England. In northern England, a lot of people were of Danish and Norse descent, and they sympathised with them. It wasn't by coincidence that Harald Hardrada had landed here in September 1066, because he wasn't viewed as an invader, but a liberator by many of the local folk. Remember, this was Jorvik. It was a Norse city for centuries. So they were in sympathy with the other Scandinavians. Anyway, there was a large rebellion in 1069. William, the Duke of Normandy, came up here from southern England. It was the harrying of the north, and he laid waste to many villages, simply burnt them, obviously killed enemies who were fighting, sometimes killed civilians too, took what he could of value. If he couldn't, he would destroy it, as in burn it. Sometimes cattle, if they were too numerous to drive away, he simply slaughtered them so they couldn't be eaten by the others. And indeed, when the Doomsday Book came to be written, for the majority of houses in York, they were still listed as empty when that was written, but they began writing in 1087. That was sort of 18 years after this. So the walls of York weren't completed for decades, but if you come down a little, you'll see how impressive they are. See how far they go in either direction, as far as the eye can see, and they're almost completely intact. They stood the test of time. So they're built up on an earthen bank, no way they could be smashed down, and even by artillery. And obviously the earth has subsided. They would have been much higher in the old days, but over almost 1,000 years they've sunk down a bit under the weight of this concrete. These are very solid, require minimal repair. Then in the background you can see York Minster. It's actually a cathedral. I'm not sure why it's called a minster rather than a cathedral. See the twin towers at the front. Anyway, so the Church of England's got two archbishops, Canterbury and York. Canterbury is the senior of the two, is the primate of England. So the Archbishop of York, he controls the Church of England in the northern half of England, whereas the Archbishop of Canterbury controls in the southern half of England, the two provinces of the Church, Canterbury and York. And so the Archbishop of York is sometimes then promoted to be the Archbishop of Canterbury, sometimes not. Bishopsthorpe is his palace. Thorpe, I can't remember what it means, it's some Anglo-Saxon word. So that's that, an absolutely a scintillating city, very livable city. And then you can see on this hotel, the Grand, across from us, perhaps you can see the blue flag fluttering aloft at the front. And there's got the white rose of Yorkshire, that's their symbol. You may have heard of the symbols of the Wars of the Roses, white versus red, red for Lancaster. So the roses, the War of the Roses isn't over still. There's the Roses match every year at cricket, Lancashire versus Yorkshire. Lancashire being the other major county in northern England, just across the Pennine Mountains. So there used to be a big Ferris wheel with that, with the white rose on it here in York. There's the White Rose Society for Yorkshire people, and so forth. Often people are flying the white rose flag on a sky blue field. Anything else I should tell you about Yorkshire? Well, they're their own dialect, so I can't think of anything I should immediately point out about the walls of Yorkshire. That's enough.